If you want to grow the business, pay attention to it. Commit yourself that, look, this is where I make my money, and I'm going to make sure the business succeeds. So perseverance, no matter the situation, you have to strike hard when the iron is hot. And trust me, there will be reward from your perseverance. You are insisting that, look, I'm going to make it differently. And nobody out there is going to make it for you, except you that have dreamt of what you want to become in future. Again, hard work. You have to be hard work. Example I gave earlier that, those who work for 8 hours, you can choose to work 12 to 16 hours. 12 to 16 hours. The one who makes about 200 for 8 hours, if you put in more hours, you will make about 300. It means you have extra income of 100. That alone gives you a stronger purchasing power over others. And that purchasing power, the extra, can be your savings. And gradually, you accumulate enough and make sure that, you plow it back into the business. So hard work, hard work, hard work. Don't just go, even if you are working for somebody, try and look for 2 jobs. 8 hours here, 4 hours there. 8 hours income will take care of your bills and everything. And the 4 hours will be your savings. This is how, you begin to save, accumulate capital, and invest in business. Again, you have to be disciplined. Discipline in this country. If you are not disciplined in your business, you're going to lose. Discipline meaning some businessmen, when they see the money coming, they go to the coffers, take the money, they dip their hands into it, go and spend it elsewhere without thinking of the capital that they put in and the margins that they make out of it. All they see is money is coming. Then they begin to spend. If you don't restrict yourself, that is what I mean by discipline. You have to discipline yourself and make sure you control your expenditure. Some people begin to make money, and instead of plowing back the money into their business, they begin to buy luxury cars, luxury items, for people to see that, yes, they have also arrived. You arrive temporarily, not permanently. Because what you could have put or invested to expand or grow the business, you use it in buying expensive cars, expensive clothes, the women and their bags, Chanel. And Chanel alone, about $4,000 or $5,000, you could plow it back into the business. Until such a time that you grow the business, and you know that even if I take 5,000 out of it, it will not affect the business. So you have to be disciplined. And with that, if you are disciplined, hard work, perseverance, confidence, ability to save money, and your dream, you will definitely be a successful entrepreneur. Your time management, I've said, you need to manage your time. Whatever you're going to do in business, you should always have a time there for you. You should know what you want to do. If not, your time is of essence to every venture you want to enter into. And therefore, I entreat each and every one here, the young men and women who wants to be entrepreneurs, to know that indeed it is possible. If it has happened to Kennedy Agyapong, you should have confidence that it can be you too. But the road is not going to be smooth. There will be curves, but you should have patience and focus. You should always stay focused and do things differently from the way Ghanaians do their businesses. These days, I'm vying to be a presidential candidate, and therefore some advice I'm not able to give you. If not, I'll be blunt as a businessman to tell you. And maybe let me try and frame the words and see if I can advise you. I have always said to myself, a society with a bunch of ignorance, the few wise men succeed. Be among the few wise men. I repeat, a society with a bunch of ignorance. Be among a few wise men to succeed, and carry the ignorant along. And some of their ignorance will emulate you and change. Some of their ignorance will emulate you and change. Because you have a lot of ignorant workers, take advantage of that. Because if all of us are smart like Canadians, you have it tough. So you take advantage and change the people. And that, when I first came to America, that is how I behaved. I didn't let that impede whatever vision I had. I just challenged myself that, look, I'll carry these ignorance along. And some of them will emulate me and change. And I've done exactly that. Some have changed, they own their own businesses, and now that I'm campaigning, they are also helping. So it is possible. So if you are not writing, now write the points down. When I was coming, I landed around 2, and I was trying to jot something down. Then my son and my nephew said, "Oh, we have your 10 cardinal points." I said, "Oh yeah?" I said, "Yes." Apparently they came to me in 2016 and they were asking for money. And I gave them the 10. They listed it. You'll be surprised that a medical doctor, he called the wife to look at the bedside on top of it. He has it there, listed. So he called the wife, and the wife took a picture and sent it to him. Apparently, he took the advice. My son and my nephew, they all have that. 10. I did not give them physical cash, but I gave them these 10 points. And surprisingly, they took my advice and they are doing very well. So I know it might be tough, difficult. Even if you're coming from a poor home and you're a graduate, you have a vision. All you have to do is take any job. Take any job. Don't say that I'm a graduate and therefore I'm not good. Because these same graduates, when they go outside, they do menial jobs just to survive. You can do same here because you know what you want to do. And trust me, sky will be the limit. So I'm entreating young ones coming up who wants to be entrepreneurs to take their destiny into their own hands and stop believing in spiritualism and all those things. This kind of belief is impeding progress in Africa and especially Ghana. Again, if you want to succeed in life, never depend on government for your survival. Never depend on government for your survival. Because the pie is this big. 32 million people. Everybody wants a piece of this pie. How much are you going to get? So reliant on government, I know this. Government is not doing this. I know government has to create opportunities. let the systems work and create opportunities so that we can take advantage. But don't think the government is going to put food on your table every day. You have to create it yourself. Take advantage of the system and be creative. Create ideas. And if you spend time thinking through what can be done, trust me, you'll be a better citizen than others.